Aaron and I have actually known each other for a bunch of years now. AdRoll is one of the leading retargeter platforms. For those of you who don't know, retargeting is an advertising. I'll let you describe more of the details. But one quick tidbit on AdRoll: they were recently awarded the #1 spot of the fastest growing company in the Bay Area. So congratulations, and the floor is yours.
Thanks. Good to see all you, and it's good to be back at Stanford. So I'm a Stanford alumni. I graduated class of 2000 with a CS degree. Now I'm the CEO, founder of AdRoll. I can talk more about what the company does. But as CEO, I do normal CEO stuff. What CEOs generally do at startups are, the chief 3 responsibilities would be fundraising, making sure there's money in the bank. You do a lot of vision and setting the direction and the mission for the company. And then culture is a huge part. Culture consists of things like recruiting, retaining people, making sure your company is a place people enjoy coming to. So I do all those things, and I've been very conscious about delegating everything else off related to marketing and business development, finance and sales to great co-pilots I have at work. So I can spend a lot of time on my other strength, which is software and engineering. I sit in the company at a desk with our product and engineering team, have a real voice there, and help make sure what we're building, help make sure that the company stays at the core as a tech company, even as we hire all these sales and marketing teams. That's really important to me, and I've delegated off quite a bit to make sure that happens. What my start was, and I guess going back to the timing thing, this is '99, summer '99, I had a job. I had a friend who was working in the lab here as a Stanford, who was living as a Stanford resident. We were trying to figure out some side projects, some company to start. And as always, we were just flipping through the Stanford Facebook. Do you guys still have the Stanford Facebook? Is that a real physical thing you still have? Stanford Facebook, we're flipping through it. It was a useful tool, and we thought, why doesn't this exist online? And so we spent the summer scanning 7,000 photos and reconciling the data and all the addresses, and ended up posting that online. And we knew it was going to be provocative because it hadn't been done before, so we had these awesome pseudonyms that we used. I was Drunken Master. And we launched the first day of school, and it grew like wildfire, spread really quickly, and then I got a call from the dean 2 days later. Come into our office, you got to talk to you. And I wondered how they figure out who we were, and I just registered the domain name under my own name. So I wasn't thinking ahead enough. And we got called in, and there was all sorts of controversy about it. It was like in the San Francisco Chronicle, a lot of props today. Student website rated at Stanford, or this is from '99. Student website stopped from showing Facebook. So it's my pride from back then, and so we had no choice. They threw honor code at us, and they said it was a violation because we were using other students' photos. And in '99, it's a different world. If you put photos out there, you were essentially inviting stalkers to come in and totally screw up people's lives. And they said, you can do this, but you got to take their photos, they're over 5 minutes. You got to have people submit their own photos. I started a company, it's called AdRoll, which I mentioned earlier. One thing we've tried to foster as a leadership team at our company is a very open environment. People feel ownership over their projects. There's no micromanagement. Everybody's given a lot of leeway to build and invent. And what comes to that is people really care. And companies that really care about what they're building are the ones that succeed.
So I'm going to take the lead from Aaron about the timing part of things, right? So I think it's an amazing time to be an entrepreneur. The barrier to entry has never been this low. The rate of innovation is amazing. We're seeing billion-dollar companies getting made in 2 or 3 years. So you guys are in a pretty sweet spot. It comes down to passion. It comes down to having a pain point that you need to solve, right? I look at startups with 2 lenses. There's a lot of ideas, but Y Combinator has this filter, which is you're either a painkiller or you're a vitamin, right? And what it means is if you're a vitamin, people really don't need you that much. You're just a simple feature on something that already exists. If you're a painkiller, that means you are in good company. That people really need your solution. And similar to AdRoll, there's a lot of empowerment. Because it is about empowering individuals to make the change. Right? The challenge that bigger companies have is that they start losing focus, right? And you start losing context.
Box was actually started by our CEO and CFO, Aaron and Dylan, who I actually went to high school with, along with another friend. And they started in 2005, dropped out of college, realized, along those pain point lines, Aaron also had this similar problem around that time where he couldn't share files and wanted to solve that. So basically developed an online web service to be able to upload and share files really easily with a great user interface. Just were working because we were just like, we knew that this is what we wanted to do. We wanted to work on build something, build a company, a product, something, and we just threw ourselves into it. And we didn't know anybody because we were all from Seattle originally. And so we didn't have any friends, so we just kind of just worked a lot. We tried to get in some Berkeley frat parties, but it was not successful. So we worked a lot there. We built this product. We started getting a lot of customers. We got into the hundreds of thousands of customers, and then both a combination of free and paid users, and then raised our first Series A from Draper Fisher Jurvetson, and moved down to Palo Alto and started the growing company. And this was around like 2007 or so, where we were basically trying to build like consumer file storage, right? Like you just going for volume, as many people as possible using the site, and then maybe upselling, getting people to spend $10 or $15 a month. On higher storage quotas and things. And so we spent a lot of time focusing on ease of use, making it like super simple, very easy to sign up and get started and things like that. But it was pretty hard to get people to pay us. Mobile, once you had the iPad come out, it completely changed the game. Because the iPad did not work with the Microsoft stack. It didn't even really work with the Google stack. It was this independent thing that there was this wide gap open of because when every board of directors, when every CEO, and every chairman of the board of Fortune 500 companies saw an iPad, they were like, I want my business to run off of that. And that plus to have to move to the cloud, plus having this demand for really easy to use software, demand for software that's easy to use as Facebook or Twitter and all that, it all kind of converged on that timing piece. So that Facebook story is incredible.
So a chemist, his name was Linus Pauling, said, to have a great new idea, you need to have many ideas. And I totally agree with that. If you think about it, the more you try things, the more you fail, but the more you learn. And if you think about it, you increase the probabilities of reaching that new idea. So I strongly encourage you to try, if it's either entrepreneurship or if it's innovation, to continue trying that, because eventually you'll find that new idea that you're looking for. So one of the things that you might ask yourself, well, how the hell am I going to come up with that new idea to start a company? You don't necessarily have to do that. You can actually join a company and it could be a startup, it could be a big company, but if you just see around, you're going to look into problems that they don't necessarily have to be the most innovative things, you just have to look really close.